Hello everyone. Let's discuss on one of the most important topics in today's world, mobile phone addiction in students and guidelines for their usage. The first topic under this list would be advantages of mobile phones. In the current modern world, mobile phones have become one of the major means of communication amongst people. In recent times, mobile phones are used for business, education, health, entertainment, online transactions, browsing information, relating with others, live chats, meetings, and so on. This opens up tremendous opportunities to develop and communicate with others effectively in our daily lives. Today, mobile phones have become one of the most widely used objects in the whole world. For a fact, we use our mobile phones from the time we wake up until the time we go to bed. According to a survey that I came across lately, I discovered that mobile phones took the number one spot for the most used gadget list of the globe. Now let's move on to look at the second topic under this list, mobile phone usage in students. Mobile phones facilitates instantaneous personal connections that make phone conversations seem simple. Students use mobile phones for communication, entertainment, playing games, social media websites, and learning purposes. For example, online classes, browsing important information like Wikipedia. Due to the COVID-19 situation presently, using mobile phones for learning has become a part of our students' lives. Students either in their initial learning stages to advanced learning stages have started to make a habit to learn through their mobile phones. Apart from learning, few students use their mobile phones to relate with parents, relatives, friends, teachers, social groups, and also use mobile phones for playing games and various other purposes. If students are not precautious with their usage over the mobile phones, it can eventually lead to mobile addiction. For clarification, questions to be asked by students to make a personal inventory of themselves in order to find out if they are dependent or addicted over mobile phones. The first question would be, how often do you use your mobile phones in a day? The second question, which and what kind of websites you watch most of the times in your mobile phones? And the third and final most question, amidst your busy schedule, how long do you spend playing games? An answer to these above questions will help the students to identify whether he or she is addicted over their mobile phone. Moving on, let's discuss mobile addiction in students. Mobile addiction in students could mean lack of control in students over their mobile phone usage. For example, rather than students having control over their mobile phones, the mobile phones take complete control over them. In turn, which will lead them to have adverse effects in their lives in terms of psychological and physical imbalances. It will create in students a feeling of isolation from the society, which wouldn't allow them to socialize with others and make them feel happy only if they have their mobile phones with them. Even if a student has good intentions to use mobile phones for a short period of time, he or she is not successful because they are forced to have an uncontrollable urge to keep on using their mobile phones despite their desire for not wanting to use their mobile phones for a longer period of time. What best a student can do when he thinks he has this problem of not being able to control his usage? He/she needs to take appropriate guidance to overcome their addiction towards mobile phones. Now let's discuss The effects of mobile phone addiction in students. Students with mobile phone addiction will have health problems and it will affect their mental and emotional state in a drastic way. Excess usage can damage the brain significantly. While using the mobile phones during the nights for longer durations will have serious impact over their sleeping patterns. Basically, it will lead to further complications during the day, like it will make them feel lethargic and have poor interests over the academics and other activities. Students with this problem will not show interest in spending time with their loved ones, immediate family members, and also friends. One very important thing that happens to most of them who are addicted is they might be surrounded by people, but they wouldn't be aware of what's going on around them or to the world around them. When you are too indulged with your phone, over a period of time, those students with this kind of addiction may start to experience loneliness as a result. Though they are willing to relate, they will find it hard in their later stages to relate due to the past overusage of their mobile phones. This also will make students impatient, intolerable, agitated, angry, annoyed, unproductive, and so on. Let's look into the most needed information for all of us who have this problem. Guidelines for students to use their mobile phones. Life without mobile phone is an impossible reality in students' lives today. However, students need to know how to use their mobile phones in an efficient way to be constructive and effective. Majority of the students who use mobile phones utilize the technology given to them in the right manner to gain maximum knowledge for their betterment of life. Here are the few guidelines for students to overcome their addictive behaviors. Those students with mobile addiction need to seek help from expertise and express the difficulties they undergo in using mobile phones. Mobile phone addicted students need to set a timetable for using mobiles, for example, by avoiding to use mobile phones unnecessarily during the course of the day. It is advisable for these students to spend time with parents, relatives, friends, and others without using mobile phones during the not needed times of the day. Students with mobile phone addiction need to understand this addiction affects their health, talents, relationships, character, and academics. These students must understand they are worthy of life and implement guidelines to become achievers in life. The students use mobile phones for online classes and for learning. But if the mobile is used for longer hours without a break, it will affect their health. It is advisable not to use your mobile phones for long hours. In some cases, students tend to use their mobile phones during the class hours while the class is functioning. Those who have this kind of tendency, please avoid using mobile phones in classroom practices to have an enduring and bright future. And finally, note to all parents. Parents have great role to play in educating and training the children over their usage of mobile phones during the early stages. If they are given the privilege to use their mobile phones at a very young age, children get addicted without their knowledge. Parents have to monitor their child while using mobile phones at their young age. Parents advise and make sure children to not use mobile phones at the time of their meals and family hours. Parents have to spend time with your children and analyze and understand the content browsed by your children. Action speaks louder than words. Hence, parents must act as role models for their children and make them realize time for family is the most important thing, and avoid using mobile phones when not really needed in front of your children so that they become productive and creative children. Thank you.